What anime am I watching this summer season? Which anime are you watching? Gotta start with the GOAT, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Good old Kakashi is back. I mean, who isn't a fan of fricking Gojo? Let's just make him the fricking main character of this season. And I've gotten some questions about the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, am I reading it? And way back in the day, I actually read the manga up to I want to say the midpoint of the Shibuya arc, which I think Season 2 may be getting to, but that was a hella long time ago. I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 and I'm like, is this story after the Shibuya arc? Did the anime perhaps move some stuff forward? And then when the anime got to the end of it, I'm like, oh, I remember this. Mappa has really just been kicking ass with the anime. They've been adding so freaking much. The Jujutsu Kaisen anime makes the manga obsolete. Unless you want to just read ahead. But I'm really curious. I've really been enjoying this season. But how about you? I know some people have been bitching about the animation, but even if you hated Mappa being a little bit more fun this season, God, the last episode or two, they're back to the god tier animation level. I really wouldn't mind having a whole season just focusing on Gojo. Horimiya! Not a season 2, but something like, I don't know, what is this called? It's not a prequel, it's not a sequel. So in case you haven't seen Horimiya, it's a very, very lovely shonen love story. I did a whole video back in the day when it was airing, just trying to figure out what chapters the anime was covering, and it was really all over the place. And I do believe the anime ended right around the same time that the manga did. So it was like, let's get to the Christmas, New Year's arc, and let's just skip to the graduations. I thought this anime was actually going to be that 3-4 month period, just filling in that gap. But no, they're actually going further back, just filling in a lot of pieces that the anime just skipped over. I was really surprised how much I enjoyed Horimiya, especially Hori. I mean, I am kind of biased with her being voiced by Asuna. If I had any issue about this season, it's like, the original Horimiya did a really terrible job filling in the side character stories. At the time they were making that, they probably thought we only have one season. And if that was the case, they should just focus on the main two leads, maybe the two best friends side characters. In other words, focusing mainly on 4 people. And now you get into this new season, I really don't find myself giving a damn about the side characters. Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead. So I actually first found out about this anime since I think Garnt aka Giga did a video on the manga, I believe. And at least in Japan, Netflix has been promoting the hell out of it. I don't know if you know, they also dropped a live action series at around the same time, which was super weird. So if you're anti-anime, just watch the live action. But I think Bucket List of the Dead so far is really refreshing. We haven't really had that many zombie anime. I think that most infamous one so far has been High School of the Dead. If you're counting literal zombies, if not, you have AOT, of course. And I've always thought, I'm like, you have a perfect medium with anime, just do something with it. And this is perfect. I mean, the guy working for this black company overworked, and suddenly he's found freedom in the zombie apocalypse, seeing the glass half full in a very dire situation. And part of what makes it work is just the gorgeous animation. I'm so glad that the studio is going all out on this. I was a little worried since I think the same studio or related studio did the Komi anime series. If you didn't see it, Komi had the best first intro episode. I watched it 3 times, was in tears just because of how much love they put into that intro episode. And then the rest of the anime was kind of just normal. I'm like, did I get catfished? But anyway, Zom 100, what do you think? Are you loving it too? Moving on to things that I'm not exactly loving. You got the return of The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 3, which they're calling Season 2 of this new iteration of it, which makes it super confusing. Unfortunately, I feel like this McDonald's Isekai series has lost most of its fan base. Partly due to it being what? I think it was almost a decade since the previous season. And then the second season pretty much getting rid of McDonald's, getting rid of what people love. It really felt like this side story filler season. Now it feels like this third season is getting back to what season 2 should have been. I'm not gonna lie, I've been enjoying this season, but I do think it's more due to my managed expectations. It kind of feels like Shield Hero, where, oh, it was awesome at the beginning and then it kind of just became alright and then it dropped. Let's hope it doesn't dip. Getting controversial, Rurouni Kenshin. So I'll put it out there, I've heard murmurs about what the author was involved with. I never looked into it 100%. Probably because this anime wasn't on my watch list. I think I saw part of the original, maybe like a few episodes, a handful of episodes back when it was airing. But I think I kind of just skipped the boat on that. I saw stuff like Trigun, I saw stuff like Ghost in the Shell, but this was, I think, a little bit before my time. But my Japanese partner wanted to watch it, so we're watching this weekly. Really, the only standout thing about this is that you got Megumin Rei Takahashi playing the main lead girl. Other than that, it's kind of alright. It's just a samurai story, which if you're a long-term anime watcher, you've seen plenty of. If you're also familiar with any Japanese dramas, it feels pretty similar. Just make it anime. So I'm curious, are you watching this anime or did the controversy put you off? Going into really bad, Rent-a-Girlfriend Season 3. The cringe continues. And no, I don't think I'm being overly harsh with this series. I would actually be surprised if this thing got a Season 3, except I've been to plenty of these Rent-a-Girlfriend events in Japan, and they're always packed. These events have actually been one of the few ones where I've seen people cosplaying the main girl, Mizuhara, and then Ruka. Ruka was actually one of the best ones that I've seen. I was kind of iffy on this series until I actually read the manga where, this is just trash now. I'm just watching it because I kind of feel like have to. And for me, this was actually one of the first manga that I started reading from the beginning in Japanese when I first moved to Japan. So it holds that special spot for me. To give this Rent-a-Girlfriend anime some credit, I do think it very much improved going into season 2 and season 3 now. This actually may be the peak of this series and it just goes down. Is anyone out there genuinely watching this because they're enjoying it? Going to a related anime, Masamunez Revenge. This anime actually holds a special place in my heart since it was actually one of the first ones that I've talked about here very early on when I switched over to covering anime. The premise is that you have this very chubby kid. He was bullied by this rich girl. Fast forward a few years, now he's done the One Punch Man training. He's super buff, he has abs, basically a gym bro. He may be trying to sell you a course. And what do you know? He ends up meeting that rich girl back in high school. So he comes up with this Death Note level plan. Why not make this great a bitch fall in love with me and then just dump her in the worst possible way? And just describing it like that, it may actually pique your interest. It did for me. But unfortunately, the first season never actually gets to his goal. And they even start dropping hints of, oh, this whole thing could have been just a misunderstanding. I don't even know why this got a second season now. Keep in mind, the manga's ended. And from what I could tell, it was never really that popular. In between the time that it ended, I did hear some weird-ass rumor about how this becomes extremely trashy in the manga, which really piqued my curiosity. Oh, it potentially could be domestic girlfriend level of bad, which is why I was always really interested in it. Either way, it's really just a trash anime at this point. It really has lost its purpose and it feels like it's just turning into a generic harem anime. I'm curious, is anyone watching this? And I'm really curious about which isekai you're watching because I've checked out one. The one about I got reincarnated as a vending machine. And I forgot, but I actually bought the freaking light novel for this. I read some of it. So I checked out the first episode with my partner. It was kind of just alright. After the first episode, it felt like, oh, I could see what this entire season's gonna be. I am committed to watching every isekai anime, since I like to torture myself. I don't think this one's gonna be bad, but it might just be average. I'm gonna make this my gym anime. For anime that I really need to start watching, Mushoku Tensei Season 2 and the new Bleach season. I know. I don't know if it's just me, but in recent years I've gotten to the point where it's really easy for me to watch trash, bad anime. But if it's for a good anime, I want to wait until I have nothing troubling me. I want it to be in like the perfect condition, which may be the wrong mindset, because it ultimately just makes me push it back. But anyway, which anime are you watching? Which one are you loving or hating? Post that down below. Hit that like, do the good YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys later.